Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Pro Meta Flash. Sit tight and get a snack, because today I have brought with me some special guests to not only break down the patch notes with me, but also give me their insights on flaming hot picks going around the world right now. Let's start with the change we've all been waiting for. Are you tired of this or this? Claiming to be mid top laners and basically being full build on 2 items whilst healing, shielding and speeding up an entire team to victory? Well, fear no more, because Moonstone Renewer got nerfed. No wait, that's not my line. I was just kidding. You're gonna have to deal with them a little bit longer. Adjustments on Moonstone Renewer were implemented on this patch, switching around the utility provided by the item. Whilst the base healing is now static through the entire game, it is buffed in the early game with an initial 60 heal over 50 that it was previously, plus this base healing gets buffed by 10 for every legendary item in the inventory. And here's the juicy part. The amplification passive no longer grants healing, but instead for each second spent in combat, it increases healing and shielding of the champion by 4%, stacking up to 5 times, which means a maximum of 20% increase on healing and shielding for an entire fight. And it gets even more powerful with the new changes of Staff of Flowing Water. Movement speed got completely removed from the item, and it now grants the wearer and the targeted ally 20 ability haste and 20 to 40 ability power for 4 seconds when shielded or healed. So let's do the math. In just 4 seconds of being in combat, your shields and heals are 20% stronger than before, plus you get to spam them more often due to the ability haste, plus 20 to 40 AP added to the shielding and healing, making it that much stronger. And all that just for 4,800 gold? Yep. Put that in my basket. This is not only about protective spells. The ability haste and ability power acquired from the staff are extremely powerful, used for offensive spells, making them stronger and more spammable. Yeah, enchanters aren't going anywhere. Sorry guys. Time to jump into a territory that has been a bit stale for a while. It went from hard farming junglers all the way creating its own Azir and Corki meta in the jungle in the likes of Hecarim and Udyr. But this patch, we have some new contenders that might be unexpectedly roaming in the woods. Ramos has received a few changes, and like the old Volibear, he did struggle getting into the backline or jumping into the Baron or Dragon Pit with his old kit. Now with his new and updated ultimate, Ramos leaps into the air and slams down onto his opponents, damaging and slowing anyone that gets hit by the spell. If Ramos is empowerable, aka his spinny self, he knocks up anyone in the center of the ultimate and deals Powerball's collision damage. But how viable will this make Ramos exactly, and how will he be able to compete on clear speed with someone just like Hecarim or Udyr?
Before you had the ulti that would like follow you around and they would make like an area of AoE damage, but they basically changed it to a jump that is affected by your movement speed. So you can like jump further the movement speed you have. And basically you create like the same AoE effect, but it doesn't follow you anymore. So it's basically just like a bit of damage. The champion statistics in low elo are not even that good. Like it used to be a champion that would actually thrive in low elo and then be kind of useless in high elo. But as I can see, the statistics are not looking that good for him. Maybe it's because the champ got a bit more complicated to play. Like for high elo, I would definitely not recommend it, because you basically get countered by absolutely everything. Like if enemy pick Olaf, Morgana, you're kind of doomed. And for low elo, I suppose if they have low dash, high AD damage, it can work. Like Yasuo, Varus, Jinx, whatever, it can work, but I don't think it's the main champion you should look for.
A bunch of other champions that were traditionally played in lane were buffed this patch to deal more damage to monsters. These champions are Darius, Zed, Diana, Morgana, and Mordekaiser. But which one of them are we most likely to see played at a professional level, and why?
These changes are mainly just damage changes to monsters, so it only really affects the clear and they're just the same champion. So, and Diana's changes are actually quite massive, because not only does he get more attack speed, she also gets like a ton of more damage, and this damage works on Baron as well. So she has an insane late game Baron where you basically do like 1k damage per third auto attack and you gain like a ton of attack speed, so you basically one-shot Baron as well, which is pretty OP. Her ganks early game are not that good, but her fighting power in River is really strong. Like she beats pretty much everyone level 4 because she has like 2 dashes. I mainly play her with Conqueror, so that helps a lot with early fighting as well. Her ulti is monster broken in teamfights, and Diana as a champion can play side lane because she pushed turrets really quickly, but she's actually really good when like standing behind AD and support, and then being allowed to like flash E ulti or protobelt E ulti, whatever you want to use. Her kit already fits pretty well with a jungler, because she also, when she ganks and she gets a kill, she can go and basically one-shot a turret, or she can do so much damage to the plates that she can also get herself ahead that way. And Morgana, she's actually really simple to play, and her clear speed is absolutely insane. So she is good when she can be first on objective. Like when enemy is forced to walk into her, she's really strong, because she can like just Q, W, and enemy can't really do much. But when she's walking into enemy or doesn't have anyone to frontline for her that she can like use her spell shield on, she's kind of weak. The good thing about Morgana is that you can play her multiple ways. Like you can use Everfrost build, or you can use Leander's build versus tanks, or you can use like Luden's Echo against more squishy people. So she can basically do whatever the f you want her to do. And also it's really nice that you can be kind of unskilled and just one-shot the camps in full clear and still be useful. So that's the good things about Morgana. I'm not sure if we're gonna see her as a top tier pick or just as a counter pick, but she's definitely really strong. Like her and Diana is definitely the like most successful changes.
Dr. Mundo received a couple of nerfs on his jungle clear speed, but was buffed as a laner. His passive's Adrenaline Rush max health regen was buffed from 1.5 to 2.5%, making it easier to sustain in lane, as well as his mid cleaver, aka his Q, restoring 100% of health cost if it hits a champion, making trades much more rewarding. I'm gonna bring in our top lane specialist Jenax to find out if the Doctor can survive his top lane matchups.
Mundo is a champion that plays a lot about sustain in lane. You go runes like Second Wind and you play Doran Sheet on him most of the time. So buffing his passive, which gives him even more life regeneration. For sure it's good for him. Also the Q change, where now you get 100% of the HP back instead of 50%. It's not bad for him, but then also they nerf his E. You lose 10 AD, like because when you use it you get bonus AD, and now it's just 10 less, which actually was a huge factor for him, like especially when you were alone in lane or you got to cheat their wave and you were hitting towers, you were destroying the towers, now you destroy them a little bit less. But therefore you sustain a bit more in lane. I don't think that's something that will make him like really good. Maybe it makes him better in some matchups. For example, there were Rumble changes recently. He's a better champion now, and he's played in top lane a lot more now. And I think Mundo can for sure be a good answer into Rumble now, since he simply just out-sustains him. But overall I think that Mundo will not be like the go-to top laner or anything with these changes.
And champion that comes straight out of solo queue nightmares and has been ascending through the world, seeing a lot of pro play, is Darius. His passive bonus damage to monsters was increased from 175% to 300%. Tynx has claimed that this is actually a top lane buff and is already mourning for the lost Gromp and Golems that will be taken on spawn by his top laner. But why has Darius risen to the top, and is it really a niche pick rather than a reliable high tier priority pick?
So the reason why Darius is now coming back into the meta without really being buffed or nerfed, or other champions being buffed or nerfed, is just because the team comps that are being played in competitive are really melee heavy. For example, you have Sion paired with an Udyr, a Hecarim, and an Alistar or Leona or something like this, and Darius is really broken when he has an easy target to get his stacks on, and on those champions you just get your 5 stacks, then you flash on the enemy backline and you one-shot them. So this is the reason why Darius is coming back into pro play, because he actually is a hard counter to melee comps, and right now a lot of melee comps are being played.
There you have it. Thank you to Jenax and Tynx for joining me on this pro meta flash, and thank you guys all for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye bye!